See, question is more or less same. Write a program to accept 10 different city names in single dimensional array. Accept 10 different city names or a state name or a capital name, something like that, or country's name. Arrange the name in ascending order by using bubble sort technique. Bubble sort. See bubble sort questions. See, you have to accept a string. So they have declared a string array. String CT, C stands for cities. They didn't write CATY. Waste of time for them. City, we can make it a city. New string 10 because we want to store 10 city names. Then we accepted 10 city names. We accepted 10 city names. Then for I is equal to 0, I is less than 9, I plus plus. Assume or remember if there are 10 city names, outer loop should go up to 9 less than 9 means only up to 8th position it must go, not up to ninth position. Remember, 1 less than the size even it becomes less than 1 less than the size of it. Then j also should start from 0 only. J is less than 9 minus I. J plus plus. J is equal to 0. J is less than 9 minus I. J plus plus. This you have to memorize these lines. Comparison is always between J position and the next position. As a result, you know, first time I is 0. 9 minus 0 is 9. Means it will go up to 8th position. It comes up to 8th position. See, they should not go beyond 8th position. When J reaches 8, J plus 1 is 9th position. Right? J is 8, J plus 1 is 9. Means 8th and 9th position we are comparing. By chance, if I go up to 9th position here itself, then it is 9th and 10th position which does not exist. 10th position does not exist. So we go on up to 8th and 9th position. It is less than 9 means up to 8. Please remember these two lines. Why I just explained is compare to function. You must remember for arranging the names in alphabetical order, we use compare to function. It is, you remember, greater than 0. Means this ASCII value is greater than the next one's ASCII value. Means you need to interchange them. Alphabetically, out of this one has to come back. How? This should go to the temporary location. This should come to this position. And from temporary position, value should shift over here. So like that, the exchange is taking place. 99% this program will not come because they said programs string chapters will not come. Strings will not come. But why I'm explaining is logic of bubble sort only is left out now. You will be thorough with the logic of bubble sort. Comparison between j and j plus 1. Outer loop up to 9 less than 9. J also should start from 0 less than 9 or 9 minus a both are fine. If X satisfied, this go to temporary, from here comes here, then from here temporary. Temporary to here. This exchange you need to remember. Very, very simple program. Write and practice. The reason I made to write and practice last week. Am I right? Am I right? Last week I should write this program. Am I right? No? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, you did.
Just tell me something. Otherwise, how do I know? Because I teach many batches. I get confused what I'm doing with whom. I have so many classes I'll be having. I don't know why I'm stopping exactly or what I exactly told you. Don't think I have only one batch and I'm just doing it only batch. No. There are two more batches are there. Then other ones I get confused once in a week. No. Then I get confused where I stopped or what I did exactly to you. Then a printing format. Is it okay? Any difficulty in this logic? Logic I'm asking about.
No, sir.
Good. Now, now, see once again a searching concept. It is once again a searching concept. What it says, accept 10 state names and the capital state names and the capital of their states. two different single dimensional array, state and capitals, they are strings. So string arrays are declared. String arrays are declared. Okay. Then enter the state name to be checked. Access state name from the user. If the state name exists in the list, the respective capital name you print. See, two strings are declared. Two string arrays are declared. We accepted the state name and the capital name here itself. See, M is for state name, N is for capital names. Please remember here, why I'm explaining is, it may be on strings. They may ask a number even like this. Because it is searched from the state names and it displays from the capitals of the respective capital of it. After the state name and its capital. Observe. The loop repeats like this. Then state name and its capital are accepted. Once you accept, enter the state whose capital to be searched. Take the state name whose capital to be searched. It is outside the loop. Like how we did accept 10 numbers and accept a number to be searched. Yes. It's after number to be searched, here the capital name to be searched, state name to be searched. Enter the state name. Whose capital you want to see now? Because we have both the arrays. State name as a capital name over here. After accepting, I'm accepting the state name. I'm just accepting the state name. Then I is equal to 0. See, it's a linear search. Why I'm stressing is, it is once again a linear search. For I is equal to 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. If m of I dot equals ignore case, I am using st. St is a state name which I entered for searching. But loops are from 0 position. It can go up to 9th position. Anywhere it matches, see, observe. Anywhere it matches, then k is equal to 1. Yes, k is equal to 1. Where is the yes program? Yes, we got it. How to remember? You would have breaked it. No, he is not breaking. So we remember where it exists. See, a is equal to I. Please observe. A is equal to I. Yes, in a particular position. Which position it matched? At that position, we are remembering in a variable because loop will continue like that. And when I reaches 10, the loop ends. When I reaches 10, the loop ends. So what we are doing? We want to know where that exists. No? We remember the position in a variable. We remember the position in a variable. K becomes 1. At least once the condition is satisfied, K becomes 1. Otherwise, K will remain 0 only. Are you getting it? Same logic I explained in the linear search program. I am repeating, knowing that it will not come. Still, it is a linear search program. It is the same repetition. And we did so many types of programs over there. See, if k is equal to 1, if anywhere matches, then only k becomes 1. If k is 1, then capital is, n is an array where the capitals are stored. N of a, because a is equal to I, we stored when it matched. Right? Capital is n of a. Otherwise, the state is not found in any location. Means we have actually 29. How many states are there in India?
29.
29 states are there. We entered only 10 state names with their capital names. So if I entered any other state name which does not exist in my list, then it says the state, what are the state name you entered, is not found in any location at any location. This message will be displayed to you. Check once. Any difficulty you can ask me, please. Question says accept 20 numbers in a single dimensional array. Instead 20 numbers, including even and odd numbers. This means randomly you enter some numbers. 20 numbers you enter. Then display odd numbers and even numbers separately. See, odd numbers separately, even numbers separately. Means I need to have three arrays, one for accepting all the numbers, one for accepting all the numbers. Then one to store all the odd elements, one to store the even elements, one to store odd elements, one to store even elements. Okay, one for entering all 20 numbers, one to store all odd numbers, one for storing only the even numbers. Why I declared all of them as 20 is, when you accept 20 numbers, yes, size should be 20. By chance, all the numbers are odd only, so I should be to store 20 numbers. So I declared this size with 20. Who knows? Possibilities are very, very less. But still, let us not take a chance. For that reason, I declared odd as 20. Even also 20. The reason is, if all the numbers were even, we should not have a problem. So I declared all these three arrays of size 20. Any difficulty in it now? No. Fine. Now, I should accept 20 numbers, no? See, for I is equal to 0, I is less than 20, I plus plus. I is 0, I is less than 20, means up to 19 it goes. From 0 to 19, means there are together 20 numbers we are accepting, 0 to 19 if we count. Because 19 is counted as well as 0 is counted. Means we accept numbers. We repeat the loop, we accept numbers. Loop repeats here. What happens? A of I is equal to obj next I nt. When I is 0, first number is accepted. Right? When I is 0, the first number is accepted in my first array. Right? For example, my array name. Let me take my array name as A here, right? So in my array A, I have entered 5. I entered 5 in my 0 position. If A of 5, in 0 position, what is there? In 0 position, 5 is there. Divided by 2 is equal to 0? No. Because in A of 0 position, 5 is there. 5 percentage 2 is not 0, it is 1. Divide 5 by 2, the remainder is 1. Since the remainder is 1, we come over here. Means odd array. In an odd array, see, OP plus plus. See, OP is what? OP is 0 means in 0 position, OP is 0. So odd array, 0 position, you store this number. See, 5 will come over here now. 5 will come over here. The reason is, it is an odd number. We want to store odd number in the odd array. Which position? OP is 0 first time. So in 0 position, this number is stored. Then OP becomes 1. OP was 0. Now OP plus plus means OP becomes 1. We go back. My I becomes 1. Right? My I becomes 1. 1 is less than 20. Correct. A of 1 position. I take number. Assume I entered 21. I entered 21 in the first position in A. Any difficulty in entering the second number? Second number goes to first position because I becomes 1. A different memory. 21 comes the first position. Then A of 1 position is 21. Percentage 2 is equal to 0. No. Because when you divide 21 by 2, 2 tens are 20, 1 is remainder. The condition is not satisfied. Once again it comes here. What is my OP value? OP is 1. In first position, you store the 1 value is 21. Will be coming to odd variable, this position, and this 1 becomes 2. Because OP plus plus now, this 1 becomes 2. 1 has become 2. Because post increment, in one position, the value is stored, then it is incremented. Right? Goes back. Take the next element in second position. Assume I entered it as 8 now. I entered it as A in third position. A of I, A of 2, I is 2. In second position, it is 8 is there, 8 percentage 2, as 2 fours are 8, remainder is 0. Since remainder is 0, means it is an even number. I want to store it in the even array. Where is my even array? I have an even array here. I have one more array named the even. Then EP. What is EP in the beginning? EP is 0. In 0 position, store this number. Means 8 will come and stored over here. Even EP plus plus. EP becomes 1. EP was 0. In the 0 position, 8 is stored. In 0 position, 8 is stored. Then EP plus plus EP becomes 1. Are you getting it? See how EP changes or OP changes, odd position and even position. OP stands for odd position, EP stands for even position. I continuously increases. I continuously increases. But this EP and OP change only if the number is an even number. That position value is stored, then EP get ready for the next iteration. The same thing with the OP. But I always increases. As and when you go further, one number is taken and that number is checked and incremented either here or stored here or here, any one place. Any difficulty in this part, children? Please check this much. Then here, you want to print odd number separately and even number separately, no? So odd numbers are, see, I starts from 0 once again till A, where it goes till less than OP. Observe. I start from 0, not 20, because I don't know how many odd numbers are there. But OP value will give me the position till where the number exists. See, if it is only 2 till the end, means in 0 and 1 elements are there, because the post increment 2 is getting ready for the next iteration. So I start from 0, I is less than 2, means 0 and 1 position, means 2 values are there here. It displays them one by one, means both the values are displayed. Both the values are displayed. Depending on EP value and OP value, this loop will repeat. Now even numbers are I is equal to 0, I is less than EP. The loop repeats here. So the even array elements are displayed till we are from 0 to less than EP. Okay, from 0 to less than OP. This is the way we separately print even numbers, odd numbers first, then the even numbers. You can see the program now. Same program we have done. Go up, ma. Same program. Declare the size as 10. I think 20 number I said. Did it for 10. Fine. Accepted 10 numbers. He accepted all the 10 numbers in advance. Then he has just given a message even numbers. Once again, he start from 0 to less than 20. Okay, changing it. Everything fine. Then, if it is an even number, if m of I percentage 2 is equal to 0, he displayed them. Otherwise, he is not displaying. There is no else for it. There is no else for it. Then he given a message odd numbers. Once again, the loop starts from the beginning till the 20th position. Anywhere if it is not divisible by 2, then he printed all those elements. So he printed odd number separately, even number separately, without declaring two more extra arrays. One array, all the elements are stored, accepted all of them. Then here, checking for even numbers has been done, checking for odd numbers has been done. If so, then only print, otherwise don't print. Okay, please correct here the first loop. For I is equal to 0, I is less than 20, you must make. Good. So this is the logic to solve it. I think the program is perfect. Right? Good. Like this, you can share your screen. Even others can share your screen like this. Question says accept 20 numbers. Yes, accepting 20 numbers, I declare an array of size 20. Then print only those numbers which are prime numbers. As I said last time, who knows? All 20 may be prime. I must be able to account all the all the numbers. So I declared one more array. Maybe Shamya says he don't want this. Fine. But
Yes, sir.
yes, 20 numbers to be accepted. I declared an array. I want to store them even later. So I'm declaring one more array. Enter 20 numbers. This variable declaration can come before or here. It won't make any difference. See, the loop starts. I have given a message before itself, not in the loop. Before only I have given a message. So I gave a message, enter 20 numbers at once. If I'm printing it here, system print line, enter a number, I would have given message here. Right? So since the message is outside, only one time this message will print. First time I is 0, we took the first number in 0 position. We took the first number in the 0 position. Maybe you entered 17, you assume. In 0 position 17 you entered. And check the number is prime or not. Since I have an array to store all the prime numbers, I am starting loop from 2 less than that number. I'm starting from 2 less than that number. If any number divides it, I think I have made a mistake here. EFI percentage J is equal to 0 I must make. Sorry. EFI percent J is equal to 0 I must make, not 2. If I make 2, it always divides by 2 only. So you must make it as J. Is
Sir,
it?
if J is 1, what will happen?
Huh?
If you put J is equal to 1.
J is equal to 1 means then what happens? First number will divide, then C will be obviously 1, it becomes 1. So let us go with our logic, then we'll come back to that. This I have to correct is EFI percentage J is equal to 0. C plus plus. See, I'm immediately breaking. You can't break then if you put 1. Because all the numbers are divisible by 1 and itself. So I'm not starting from 1, I'm starting from 2. I'm going less than that number, not up to that number even. So C plus plus, C plus plus. If any number divides, C is 0 in the beginning. If any number divides, C plus plus, C becomes 1 and I break. C. Means the inner loop gets over. Means inner loop gets over means this for loop is over. Once the inner loop gets over, if C is equal to 0 till the end, means none of the number has divided it. If C is 0 till the end means none of the number has divided it. If none of the number has divided, that number is a prime number, right? That number, what I checked for prime, yes, it is a prime number. I'm copying that number into P variable, prime number array variable. Prime is an array, P is an array. Where I'm storing CT as 0 in the beginning, in the 0 position, this number is stored. And I increment CTR plus plus, I increase it and keep it ready for the next iteration. I increase and keep it ready for the next iteration. This is inside the outer loop. And I reinitialize C is equal to 0 before going for the outer loop. I reinitialize it. Loop gets over here. See, I becomes 1 then. I take the next number. I take a next number in first position. Once again, I start dividing from 2. Less than that number. What are the number you entered? If you entered 85 here. In the first position, if you entered 85. Till from second to 84, I start dividing it. But what happens? 2 will not divide, 3 will not divide, 4 will not divide, but 5 divides. Because I said it is not 2, it is J. Divides. When divides, C becomes 1. When C becomes 1, we come out of it. Enough. No need to go up to 84. Because 5 has divided it. C becomes 1 and I break. I come out of the loop. Come out of the inner loop actually. Come out of this loop. Then I check if C is 0. No, C is not 0 because it has been incremented. Since C is not equal to 0, I will not enter here. I will not enter here. I will not store that number into prime array, P array. I will not change this part, but I reinitialize C as 0 once again. I'm reinitializing C as 0 once again because C has become 1. I had to reinitialize. Then next number, that checking. Like this, the process repeats. Please check any difficulty in this process. Let me know, please.
What does the CTR stand for, sir?
What is the
CTR.
CTR to change the position of this P array? No. Otherwise, CTR remains 0 only means it will be overriding the next prime numbers in the same 0 position. So CTR 0 first time. So first prime number will stored in 0 position. Then CTR becomes 1. Counter becomes 1. So next time, the next number will be, next prime number will stored in P of 1 position. Then CTR becomes 2. Next prime number will be stored in second position.
But
Right? Any
and,
doubt? Last part is we have to print only the prime number. Where is my prime number? It is in P array. P array, from where it is there, from 0 position it is there, less than CTR value. Because CTR position we store and we keep it incremented by 1 for the next iteration. So I say I is less than CTR. Start from 0, less than the CTR. I print all the elements of the P array because P array has all the elements which are prime numbers. Printing is not a difficult part. Remember why it is CTR. This is a prime logic which already we have learned in 9th standard, and that's the reason I repeated because I want those foundation to be very clear. We are forgetting because we are not revising it. Check once, take this program neatly. See children here, we are supposed to have 20 numbers. No, we don't have problem accepting 20 numbers, right? We can accept 20 numbers. After that, then we have only those numbers which are perfect squares. For example, 4 is a perfect square because 2 square is 4. Then 9 is a perfect square because 3 square is 9. In between 5, 6, 7, 8, they are not perfect square. Once I leave 9, then 16 is a perfect square. 16. 4 out of 16. So we don't have any other perfect square before that. Means from 9 onwards up to 16, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, they are not perfect squares. They are not perfect squares. Right? Then 16 is 25 further, right? So many numbers are not perfect. Up to 100, there's only 10 perfect squares. So we say we took a number, first number in 0 position. Take some number. Maybe to take the example as not a perfect, let me take the perfect square number only, like 9. To take a number as 9, m of I in 0 position I have 9. Then square root of 9 is 3. 3.0 because square root gives decimal value. 3.0 it gives. Integer part is 3. Integer part is 3. So 3 into 3. 3 into 3 is 9. And is equal to A of I. In 0 position 9 is there. Yes. Here also 9 is there. Here also 9 is there. Yes. It is a perfect square. In such a case, I take that number into a new array. That is perfect numbers array I copy. Like how I did the previous 2 programs. Let me take a number which is not a perfect square. For example, 10. 10 means when I took the number as 10, it is 3.1 something will go to come. 3.13 something will go to come. When it comes, I take only integer part of it. 3.13 means I get only 3 over here. Integer part is only 3. See, 3 into 3 is only 9, not equal to 10. Means it is not a perfect square. Are you getting it? Why I took the integer part? Decimal I am removing. If a decimal comes, once again square will come to the same number. No. Take the integer. Perfect squares whose squares are clear, right? So 9 is 3. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. See, any number between 9 to 50, 16. If I take 15 itself, it is 3 point something will go on to come. Integer part is only 3. 3 into 3 is 9 once again. 9 is not equal to 15. So no, it will not be copied over here. So only if it is yes. Only for perfect square, what happens? Decimal will not remain the square root. So as a result, when we multiply them twice, we get back the same number, and we can consider this a perfect square, perfect numbers, perfect squares. Only those numbers are taken over here, then we are printing them here. Check the program once again. Question says, store 6 elements in an array P. First array should store 6 elements. 4 elements in array Q. Second array should store 4 elements. Now produce the third array R. Third array R contain all the elements of P and Q. Take all the elements of P, then the elements of Q. It is like a merging two arrays, we say, merging concept. Here what we did, enter the elements of the array P or enter 6 elements of the array P. We can give a message. Say a mistake here, only one semicolon, not two semicolon. Enter the 6 elements of an array. Semicolon is enough. Then for I is equal to 0, I is less than 6. Right? Because you are supposed to accept only 6 elements. From 0 to 5, there are 6 positions. So P of I is equal to obj dot next int. P of I is equal to obj dot next int. So take, for 0 position you take, then first position, then second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position. But what is he doing? Simultaneously, as soon as it took the first value, this is 0 position. As soon as it took the 0 position, that value, he copied it to the final array R. See, in R array, he has copied it. Observe. First time C is 0. In 0 position, piece of 0 position value is copied. And C++, C has been incremented. C becomes 1, means getting ready for the next iteration. When you go back, I becomes 1, satisfied. We take the second element in this position, in first position. That element is copied to third array. Then third element we took, that is copied to the third array. Like that, all 6 values are copied. First is accepted into P array, then from P we copied into R. Any difficulty in accepting in the first array and copying into third array? Any difficulty over here? No. So we are able to copy all the 6 elements. As soon as we accept, we are copying into third array. Once I finish this loop, my C will be 6. As well as when I become 6, we come out of the loop. Means 6 numbers are accepted in the first array. All those 6 elements are transferred to our R array. Now you see, enter the 4 elements of array Q. Better review. Enter the 4 elements of array Q. Give that message. Then for I is equal to 0, I is less than 4, because we need actually 4 elements here. Accepted. See, same I used. Q of I is equal to obj next int. We took the value. As and when I took the value, see, C is not reinitialized, right? C was 6 when we completed this loop. So in the 6th position, Q's 0 position value is copied. Q's 0 position value is copied to 6th position. Then I becomes 1. I becomes 1. We took the second element in the second Q, that is taken into R array. Like this. 4 elements are active to the second array and they have been transferred to the third array. Positions you observe. Doesn't we need one more extra variable which should continuously increase. Should not reinitialize. It should continuously increase. So once this process completes, 4 elements are active to the second array and they are already shifted to the third array. They are shifted to the third array. Then elements of array R means final element. Once again, for I is equal to 0, I is less than C because C plus plus one extra increment is given over here finally. So less than that. From 0 to less than that. Print all the values one by one. Print all the values one by one. So like this, we have 6 elements we copied here. Then after 4 more elements here that has been uploaded, added because C plus plus is there here. Then printed the final array. Check once again now.